A very warm welcome to the final day of activity of Season 2 of the eRacing GP, the brainchild of Alex Young in the screen awaiting on my left-hand side. Alex, we've got silver, gold and bronze to settle today. It's a nice finale to the season.
Yeah, I mean, so finally, we're at the 6th round. It's just kind of flown by. And we're at Spa. Spa, one of the greatest tracks in the world. Definitely one of, I think, most drivers, all drivers love driving this track. It's such a great flow to it. A lot of overtaking possibilities as well. And we got some championships going down to the line as well.
Certainly have. We'll give you a little bit of details then. Firstly, though, you're wearing a suit. I understand some criticism of you for giving Formula One precedence over eRacing GP. Good response.
Yeah, a few of the stewards and the drivers are like, you wear suits for Formula One, but you don't wear suits for us. So I thought that was a fair comment, and I put my jacket on for you today.
Okay, let's get on to the serious stuff of today's activity. And let's look at the championship in the bronze category. That's where our first race is going to be. As we can see, Haris Sharmi has got himself a healthy lead over Leo Young and Jamil Lacuna. It is possible for Haris to actually lose the championship today, but it takes something pretty radical for him to actually not take the title, Alex.
Well, yes, if you look at these points on you, it looks pretty far. But let's have a look at the points for the top 3 once drop scores are considered.
It's 86 and 88 points because one round is dropped. So that means that Triple L, Leo Young, who had a really good start to the season, is able to actually take the title if he has a better 2 race than Haris Zephy.
Yeah, okay, so we'll come back. Those are actually slightly wrong points. We'll come back to the camera. Haris Zephy actually still leading the championship. We have the wrong graphic just there. Sorry about that. Haris is still leading by about, I think, 6 points. Triple L, like you said, is just behind him. But Lacuna's in fight as well. I think he's 14 points off the lead. So with, what is that? There's like 40 points up for grab today. Over 40 points up for grab today. So it's really going to come down to those 3.
Okay, let's concentrate on the course itself. And we are at the infamous, or the famous, the fabulous Spa-Francorchamps circuit. And I think we're going to have time for a flying lap, even though we're in the touring cars, the World Touring cars. Our flying lap's going to be on a DTM, but Alex, it shows us a really, really nice circuit of Spa-Francorchamps, written by Nico Nassi. Or am I calling this wrong once again?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right, welcome to Spa-Francorchamps. Track in Belgium has been around since forever. Let's go for a lap. We're in the Mercedes AMG DTM and heading up to a very tight right-hand corner here. The source, it'll make it really tough on the start, with everyone crowding into a really tight corner there. And then coming up to one of the most famous corners in the world. And depending on who you ask, it's either a Rouge or Raidillon. I think the correct one is Raidillon. And then a very, very long camel straight where a lot of drivers will be using their DRS and flying past the guys in front of them. And then Lecom here, we'll try to hook our left tire on the curb there, give us a bit of extra grip. And really quick Malmedy here, you can use a lot of the track on the left there. And then a really slow downhill hairpin here, Rivage, because of the downhill really wants to understeer. And turn 11, really tough corner to get right, also because it goes downhill. It's tough to time correctly. And then really quick entry here for Pouon. Just keeping it on the track, controlling it with the throttle. And another right-left section here. And there's not a lot of grip on the exit there for some reason. Really tough to get to turn in. Turn 13, and then a really, really long full throttle run here. And this will be another favorite DRS spot, but also a risky one with these two corners coming up. Should be pretty easy to go DRS through here, but the second one here, it's full throttle, Blanchimont. Very easy to lose control if you keep DRS open there. And then finally, the bus stop chicane to end the lap. Missed my apex there a little bit. And then really careful on the throttle exiting the final corner. And that's a lap.
And later on this afternoon, he will actually be in racing. And we saw yesterday Mikko Nassian winning one of the races. He took the DRS right the way through Eau Rouge. You don't get that kind of pace with the World Touring cars, but it was a ballsy move yesterday by Mikko Nassi, Alex.
Yeah, he won a race, so he starts on the front row today in the gold final. So watch out for that. I think we're really looking for fireworks for the gold final and the silver final. But for now, here we are with the World Touring cars. These are front-wheel drive cars, 350 horsepower, a little bit less horsepower, quite a lot less grip. And a completely different driving style, because a front-wheel drive car is a very different driving style compared to a rear-wheel drive car.
We're on board with Haris Zephi now. He's just gone fastest through Sector 2. This is practice. There's a qualification still to come. Now, we've worked out the graphics. I pressed the wrong button before. So we can look at how close it is for the top three, Alex, I understand. And how close is it? Well, Triple L is just 4 points adrift of Haris Zephi. And Jamal Lacuna, I tell you what, he is not out of the reckoning, because there's 40 points plus qualification plus fastest lap. 49 points available today. So I think any one of those three, particularly if you get a good first race, Alex, is well in with the chance of taking this title.
Very much so, Des. And you know what else? When it's this close, well, okay, first of all three drivers have to perform. But as we've seen during this series, there are some factions starting to appear on the grid, because there are teams here, let's not forget. So, like for example, Triple L, who we're riding on with right now in the Hyundai, he has teammates in this championship. Tony Fock is a teammate. Carlson Tang is also a teammate. So I can see those two drivers working very hard, working for Leon to try and help Leon get the championship. And then, of course, I think actually Haris Zephi is pretty much on his own, because Laguna from Philippines, I know there's some very fast Philippine drivers in this championship as well, and I think they'll be all out there to try help Laguna win.
Lacuna's actually come from nowhere, really, hasn't he, in this championship? For the first couple of races, he didn't really register, but in the last three events, he's really come through, and he's probably the form guy at the moment outside the top two.
I would totally agree. It's nice when you see, oh, look at that, he's fastest of all in the first sector, so he's really pushing now. But it's really nice when you see the drivers improve during the series, and Lacuna's one of those drivers that has. Started slow, like you said, but that's what this championship, all these different categories are for, so people can race against drivers of their standard, and they put in the work, and something clicks in their mind, they suddenly start improving. So like Lacuna is doing really well. He should be a bronze driver now, and the next time we do it, he'll definitely move up to bronze.
Fabulous. Jamal Lacuna. Let's just stick with him before we go to the Spotters Guide. I just want to see what kind of form he is in, because very often the practice is a great indicator on the kind of form you're going to take into qualification. It's a good sighter for the drivers.
Yeah, so he's just gone through Pouillon, double left-hander, very fast. Now into Biff Bath. Corner, you need a good momentum. You don't want to push too hard to the right, because you do want to keep it in the middle of the road for the left. But then on the left, you want to get the power nice and early. And then on to the last corner before the back straight. This corner, very critical to get a good exit. Some drivers are a little bit too aggressive there, and it can get them in all sorts of trouble. So you have to get a nice clean exit, because it leads on this massive long straight. And you can see, as he goes fastest of all in Sector 2, so that's two purples. But as he creeps up on the car in front, you can see the slipstream is quite strong. He's using the slipstream, and he's edging closer and closer to the Honda in front of him. Most of these cars, drivers here choosing either the Hyundai or Honda. Lacuna is in a Hyundai at the moment. And now braking for the bus stop chicanes. You've got to be really late on the brakes here. Will the driver hold him up? No, I don't think he will. Uses all the curbs. And he goes, no, he's small bit of lag there. And gets out of the last corner. This should be comfortably the fastest of all. Well, not comfortably, because I don't know if he got held up through the bus stop chicane. But so him, championship rivals all at the front. Zephi, Lacuna, and Leong. They're the quickest at the moment.
Okay, let's go on to the Spotters Guide, as we call it, just to show you the colours and the numbers of the drivers to really look out for. And we've mentioned Jamal Lacuna. The big three are all at the top, of course. Haris Zeffy and Triple L Leon Leo Leung. So Malaysia, Hong Kong and Philippines. And Carson Tang from Macau. Tony Fock has had a brilliant end to the season. He entered the championship late and he's won one race, being competitive in others. Voltaire Seiko's quick. Mada Andika started really well to the start of the season. Adam Amir has been there or thereabouts, as has Nasri Aslan. Zoriel Cruz can be quick. Mutuch in the Philippines edition did well. Don't look out for Pang. I tell you what, right the way down to bad boy Gav Quintos, there's some really good drivers there. Even Jones Yu has led at various times this season, Alex. So a lot of names and a lot of complications for the front three.
Yeah, so qualifying is going to be important. It's needless to say. It's a 6-minute qualifying, so that if you don't mess around, you keep pushing, you can get 2 laps done here. So here we are watching Haris Zeffy starting his lap. He goes through La Source, the first corner. Very important, needless to say, get a good exit out of La Source, because you go flat through Eau Rouge. In a DTM car, this next corner coming up, the most famous corner in the world, Eau Rouge, is easy flat. Not so easy flat in a WTCR car. And Harris manages to keep it flat, keep it neat, nicely done. So that's why it's important to get a good exit out of La Source, because if you can carry a couple K out of there, you carry it all the way through Eau Rouge, up through Radion, and down this long straight up to Le Combe. So let's see, this coming to the end of sector 1, it's all about straight line speed, getting a good exit out of La Source, and he's purple at the moment at 41.6. That looks very nice, and he's nice and neat through Le Combe as well. Doesn't look like he's overdriving the car. Use all the curb at the exit. Ooh, I think you're going to carry a bit more speed through that right-hander. Now, braking for the hairpin here. This is turn 10. Braked a little bit early there, but still okay, I feel. Nice and neat still. Now, turn 11, no-name corner. I know they've got a name for it now, but I'm still going to call it the no-name corner. Nice and good. Good exit out of there. Now, Pouillon, this double left-hander. Very, very fast. In a DTM car, it's just a lift. In a Formula 1 car, it's half a throttle lift. In a WTCR car, you have to brake slightly. You can see him go a little bit sideways as he went through the first part. That shouldn't have cost him any time, provided he did the correct thing with the brake. Now, on the curbs for the entrance into Biff Bath, you can see there, just nice and neat. Need to be on the power, full throttle now. Use all the curb and more at the exit. That's just about right. Now, this right-hander leads on the back straight. Another important corner, just as important as La Source. Use all the curb. Nicely done. Now it's a long drag through these next few corners. Easy flat, even in a WTCR car. Now we come to the end of Sector 2. He's purple in Sector 2 as well. So that's looking really good. There's some very fast cars out there as well. We're not quite sure if this is good enough for pole, but it'll definitely be good enough for the front 2 rows, I feel. Through Blanchimont now. Easy flat in a WTCR car. And now a short straight through the bus stop chicane. The famous but much changed bus stop chicane compared to the old one when I used to race here. Just missed the curb there, but it's okay. Ooh, really slowed down for the last little bit of that. I felt that could have been a little bit better by Harris. Now for a short drag to the line. He doesn't have time to restart the lap. He has to try and go again. Got one more chance. Let's see what that does.
Nothing. No time registered for Haris Zeffy.
Wow, I wonder if he had a track limits issue. He has to push now. This has to be the lap for him, because Triple L, his championship rival, is on pole.
Has Haris Zeffy got enough time? That's the big question for him. In qualification, there's 2:40 left, so it's going to be nip and tuck. Yes, he has got time, but my word, this is putting immense pressure on the championship leader. Currently, he is P20 on the grid, Alex.
Wow, this lap is a big pressure lap now. Triple L, he's on pole right now. He's starting another lap. He won't have time to do it, but let's follow Haris Zeffy. He's the man that has to be good. Oh, scrappy first lap. Oh, and a mistake at Le Combe as well. 4/10 down. He's lost pole position for sure, but he's got to keep calm. He has to still finish the lap. He needs to try and qualify in the top 10 at least to give him a chance of getting to the front. He mustn't panic now. It's very easy to panic because those 4/10 you see there, he's down. As a driver, you know that. I mean, it's still a good time because it's still green, but he's 4/10 down on his championship rival, so he knows it's still not perfect. But he mustn't panic now, and he's just got to still finish the rest of this lap.
He's got to finish the lap because Jamil Lacuna's got himself on the 3rd row of the grid. Triple L Leon Leo Young is on P1. And that, even in a longish race like this, 15 laps, is a huge deficit for the championship leader. So Haris Zephi, let's look at this through Sector 2 will be next. These are 1:43. The fastest lap at the moment is 2:34.
Yeah, 2:30.4. I've seen him do a 29 in the weekly leaderboard. He did get into the 29, so 29's not possible. But he's still bleeding time. I don't know where his lap time has gone, because even in practice, just 5 minutes ago, he was doing 30s. So this is going to be a time in the 31s. Maybe the pressure is getting the championship leader. Maybe he's making too many mistakes, but the time is just bleeding away.
As he comes down to the final chicane, this will be a crucial moment in the championship. And I can see Triple L and Jamil Lacuna looking on, fascinated to see exactly what time Haris Zephi is able to post. Qualifying has 30 seconds. He is 0.3, so it's not bad for Haris Zephi. In fact, it's front row of the grid alongside Triple L. What a response. What a recovery, Alex Young, from Haris Zephi. Show me under pressure and responding.
Wow, really. That's probably, in light of how important this race is, that was the best lap of the season for him. It wasn't perfect, it was a little bit scrappy, but still, he was able to salvage something from that, and front row is exactly where he needs to be. Jamil Lacuna further down in P6, 3rd in the championship, but 6th on the grid right now. That's not where he wants to be, because he's also behind Carlson Tang and Tony Fook, who are teammates of Triple L.
Wow, superb qualification. It sets us up nicely. Jamil Lacuna is probably the one who suffered most there. We are at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit, the famous Spa in Belgium. It's the bronze edition, the bronze class of Season 2 eRacing GP. 2 races coming around this famous old circuit. 2 long, very quick straights for you to operate on here to generate top speed. On pole position after qualification, it is going to be the Triple L Leon Leo Young and the championship leader, who are on pole position on the front row. Triple L to the right as the red lights prepare to go out. We are go for the final round of the season, and it's a solid start from Triple L. Triple L has just eased his way in front of Haris Zephi. Jamil Lacuna is quite a way back, in real danger. Jamil Lacuna, there's contact for Jamil Lacuna. He's just escaped and got himself up into P5 alongside Voltaire Seiko.
So Lacuna on the left screen here now. He's got to try and hold this position for P4. Whoa, that was risky there. Contact in Eau Rouge is always trouble. But now look at the right, on the right screen here, got Haris Zephi, the replay, as he goes down the inside. Whoa, moves the championship rival out of the way. Might get away with that. Stewards are a bit more lenient on the first lap. But at the moment it's still P2, but he's challenging for the lead now into Lecombe and takes it. He's in front. The championship leader's in front with Triple L shadowing him in P2.
And Carson Tang in 3. Jamil Lacuna is there shadowing in P4. Bad Boy Gab Quintos in P5. Adam Amir, Joseph Flores and Felix Young. Who else is really threatening? Voltaire Seiko had a good start and he's trying to make his way through the pack, but Voltaire is enjoying the stock car racing in the middle of the pack there. Let's go back up to the front though, where Haris Zephi, look at that, Jamil Lacuna and Carson Tang are locking horns.
Lacuna has to be careful here. He will get penalized if he ends up pushing the driver off. He needs to not panic and do something silly here. He's fighting for the championship. Carson's not fighting for the championship. He's just driving. And Lacuna, he's just way too impatient at this stage. There's still a long way to go. If he has too much contact and ends up in the wall, that'll be his championship over.
But those 4 have really accelerated away from everybody else. Adam Amir in P5 is a good 3 seconds down, leading Flores, Quintos and Felix Young. It means, though, Alex, that we really can focus on the front 4. Now then, what has happened? Somebody is out.
Lacuna.
Somebody has gone right the way down, and it is Jamil Lacuna who is right the way down at the back, Alex.
Oh, it's such a shame. Lacuna, we were just talking about him calming down, and that's it. He's right at the back. Off screen, we must have missed it, but he must have spun off or done something. and that's it. I think that's his championship blown.
Wow, Haris Zeffy is the man who at the tail end of this first lap is able just to take the lead from Triple L, Leon Leo Young, and Carson Tang is there as well. But Lacuna, he was ridiculously aggressive, it must be said, trying to get past Carson Tang, and he suffered the consequences.
Look now, looking to the outside. Oh, I tell you what, Triple L's looking very fast indeed. Good exit out of out of La Source, and he's pulled into the lead now. This is the championship battle. Everything is on the line, and he's now leading.
However, we must remember that Haris Zeffy is the man who's got the 4-point lead over Triple L, and we are on board here with Haris Zeffy. I think this is where we'll just see he's got the lead, but going on the inside of him is Triple L. He went a little bit wide there, did Haris?
Yeah, he was trying to defend into La Source, then had a very poor exit, and Triple L was able to take full advantage.
Now then, one of the danger men, Tony Fock, he is out of this race. LJ Mutoch is right the way down at the back, and poor old Jamal Lacuna is in P19. It means all of our focus will be on these front three, and Triple L is leading the way at the moment. The Hong Konger leads Haris Zeffy from Malaysia, and Carson Tang from Macau in P3, and Team Tactics might come into operation, Alex.
Well, they might, but at the moment, and I actually like to see this, both championship rivals are out in front. If Carlson Tang can get into this battle, you would say that Team Tactics might come into play. But at the moment, we're free from that. And of course, the Project U teammate Tony Fock is out of this, which is such a surprise because he was so stunningly quick at the last race. Whoa, Haris Zeffy going around the outside at Biff Baff. Almost made it. It's really hard to do it there, but Haris definitely gave it a go.
Biff Baff as they come round to Stablon, turn 15 and 16 before a really, really quick second part to the course as they approach 17 Blanchemont. Just coming up in just a moment. Triple L is leading the way. Carson Tang, to his credit, is hanging on grimly, Alex.
Yeah, he is, Carlson. But I tell you what, the Triple L Leong would definitely love Carlson to get into this mix, because if his ideal scenario at this point was, I need to win to get some points, but I would love it if Carlson Tang could get past Haris Zeffy as well to take some more points.
A little bit of contact, a little bit of aggression there from Haris Zeffy. We are seeing some aggressive driving today. It really does mean something for these fellas. It may be the bronze category, Ergo Division 3, but they want to get promotion. They want to win this title.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's just your favorite thing, isn't it, Des? You love a bit of contact, but Haris there, showing his nose, trying to maybe intimidate the driver in front, but then instead makes a mistake and messes up the corner, and now he's got Carson Tang all over the back of him. I'm always on to new drivers about this sort of thing. We get a lot of young kids sometimes, and they watch the Formula One boys doing this, and I'm like, don't do that, because you end up messing your corner, and that's exactly what's happened to Haris there. So, so he's very unnecessary. And now he's going to defend from Carlson Tang. Carlson Tang is going to go for it. His teammates up the road. It's contact there. Haris, you need to defend earlier because Carlson, he'll go for it because he's got nothing to lose at this point. But for now, Haris survives.
Was that a little bit naughty from Haris? It looked like there was a double move from me there. The stewards may well be called into play. In the meantime, as they scrap, Triple L has got himself a second lead. So he is pulling away as we approach the halfway point of this race.
Yeah, but I think Haris has got the pace to stay with him. Look, now he's calmed down. He's getting his corners better, hitting the apexes, getting on the throttle earlier. And now he's able to pull away from Carlson and is closing the gap to Leong.
I do want to go and see the progress of Jamil Lacuna. He's got himself up into P16 now. He'd love to rescue something, and there's a train of cars in front of him in the beautiful forest surrounding Spa-Francorchamps. He has got 8 minutes, and if he can get himself up into P8 and do well in race 2, Alex, you never know, he might not be completely out of it. But it was a nightmare scenario for him.
Yeah, I mean, he would have to be really lucky. I think it would require his two championship rivals, Leong and Haris in P2 to maybe take each other out at this point.
One of my favourite sayings, though, this is 2020. Nobody should predict anything.
Yes, of course, it might be a meteorite strike for all we know. But at the moment, Leong, now he's coming under pressure from Haris. Harris getting good exit out of Blanchimont. He's using the slipstream. He's getting closer and closer. Maybe not close enough to take a move. Oh, yeah, Leung, though, defends the inside. Harris there, trying to come back on him. Have to watch the contact, guys. You don't want to rack up the incident points, because the worst thing in the world would be for you guys to get DQ'd from the race in a championship fight.
Felix Lee has been disqualified. He is out of the race. Too many contact points. Look at the gap, though, between Carson Tang and I think it's Joseph Flores behind them. They are 5 seconds down to Felix Young.
Now, at least for now, Harris Effie managed to get a clean move through Lecombe. So now he's really in the slipstream of the championship. Well, technically, actually, he's the championship leader right now. The positions stay the same. Of the race leader, Leung. Let's see if he can get a little bit closer. Look, maybe take a dive to Lecombe. I don't feel he's quite close enough. I feel that Harris is a lot stronger in this last sector of this lap. So really, I think his best chance is probably into the bus stop chicane.
We are on board there with Harris Effie. He's very, very close to Triple L. Now then, a bit of good news for Leung is that Carson Tang has the fastest lap, a 2:31.5. So that will be taking precious points off Harris Effie, whose fastest lap is nearly a second slower at 2:32.4.
Yeah, but Leung, really, if he wants to win the championship, he should be trying to go for fastest lap as well. But I think the pressure is getting to him. You know, we know he's capable of running the 31s, easy peasy. But I think he's looking a little bit uncomfortable. He's making a few small mistakes here and there.
Carson Tang is losing touch. Those front two, Alex, I know you're saying the pressure's getting to them, but they're both responding by racing away from the rest of the field in a manner we've not seen previously this season.
That is true. I mean, I think the last lap is invalidated. So what they're doing is they're using a bit more of the road than that legally possible. So they are also racking up incident points. I'm just worried about that. I don't want them to get too argy-bargy and then end up being DQ'd from the race because they racked up too many incident points. So they're taking big risks for sure. They are really, really pushing hard.
Harris Effie looks around the outside. Jamal Lacuna is making progress. Here he is now, P13. And right on the back of Nasri and Nazir Asman and also Henry Coe.
But look at this. Harris going around looking at the outside. This is the bus stop chicane. Not able to do it now. Oh, he's going to get a good exit now. If he can get a good, strong exit out of the bus stop chicane. No, but I tell you what, Triple L had a great exit. Oh, I thought Harris was going to have a go into La Source. He's not close enough, though.
Superb as they come down this long straight. La Source is the first corner. Harris looks on the inside. Then a slight mistake, and that allows Carson Tang to come right back into the reckoning.
I can't believe Harris has done that. That's again the wrong move to do it. If you're going to go down the inside some La Source, you make sure you make it happen. Doing half-hearted moves like that is the worst thing you could ever do at Spa. It's just the silliest thing to do because you end up losing all the time here. And now Harris is going to come under pressure from Carson Tang again.
Great race so far. Just 4 minutes to go. Welcome to James onto the chat room. Go Joriel Cruz. Joriel currently in P13. The Filipino challenge is Jamal Lacuna, and he's making progress, Alex Young. He could get up into the top 10 by the end of this lap, but time is running out for him.
Yeah, wow, look at all these train of cars. It's getting really busy at 3 aside there. So, Jamal's looking at that and going, yes, please, thank you. Let me through as well. Oh, then he makes a mistake. So, he's making progress, but it's still a very scrappy race from Lacuna.
It was Joriel Cruz who is just knocked aside. He's got Henry Coe, who's just vanished.
He braked super early there. I don't. It's very unusual for him to brake that early. Very cautious through there. But still is able to defend the position for now.
Okay, so let's get back to the two race leaders. Carson Tang is still holding on in P3, but he is chasing the front two. Leung and Harris Zeffie, 4 points separating them. Once you take everything into account, at the top of the championship, Harris Zeffie would lose the lead if Leo Leung picks up 25 points and Harris Zeffie 20. And then we would go into a last race shootout.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, Harris is looking very quick. His middle sector here has been very, very fast because he dropped back to maybe half a second behind Long. But now look at it. There's no difference at all. They are side by side. Coming into the last bus stop chicane now. Harris is definitely close enough to have a look down the inside. Will he go? Yes, he will. He is going down the inside. Leung, will he try and close the door? Oh, there's contact between the two of them.
Leung is pushed off. Harris Zeffy takes the front. Stewards will take a close look at that. Carson Tang is now alongside Leo Leung, and they go into the final lap. Carson, will he look after his buddy? Yes, he leaves a little bit of space. And again, Harris goes wide, but this time Leung is the chaser, not the chasee.
Last lap championship fight on the line here. Leung is looking a lot closer now. Zeffy again, with, like you said, with a poor exit out of La Source. And look at that, Triple L just closing in. He's doing everything right. He's going to pull out of the slipstream. He's going to go alongside. Does he have enough though? Can that Hyundai outdrag the Honda? And yes, he can. He's overtaking. He's back in front, Des.
Leo Leung retakes the lead, but the drama is not finished in this first lap. Terrific racing. Look at Harris Zeffy, and Carson Tang is right back in the mix. He could complicate matters hugely for Harris Zeffy.
Wow, so we've already had this like the last lap and a bit, and we've already had 2 overtakes on this last. Oh, contact! Contact between the 2 drivers, but both survive for now. So we've got 2/3 of a lap to go now, and wow, could we see another overtake before the end, Des?
I wonder where they are on their penalty points, on their contact points. Harris Zeffy this time leaves a bit of space for Leung. Half a lap to go. The race will finish at the end of this lap. Leung leads for Hong Kong from Harris Zeffy. Harris Zeffy, we're on board with him. Leung weaves his way into a defensive position. There's no way around Biff Baff for Harris Zeffy. Carson Tang has been left behind. What a race!
Tell you what, I just saw the incident points just now on Harris's onboard. He's got 27 out of 50, so he actually has a lot of incident points left still. So he's looking good. I don't think he'll get DQ'd with only less than half a lap to go. But we know this is the point where Harris is faster. He's faster in this last third of the lap, whereas Young is faster in the first third of the lap. I can't call it, Des.
This is coming down to the final chicane. This is where Harris Zeffy might just try to leave Leo Leung out of the way. He's quick though, is Zeffy. He's out of the slipstream. It's down to the final chicane. Leung defends. Harris goes round the outside. This is the championship leader. Oh, he holds on. Does he hold on? And Carson Tang comes into P2. Leung takes it. Tang second. Harris Zeffy in third. And this just got even more complicated than you can possibly imagine.
Wow. That's motor racing. Wow, that's really excellent motor racing. How close was that? Argy-bargy, touring cars just going to the end. Look at Harris A shaking his head. He knew he had the race. I tell you what, he only lost this race because of La Source. If he had just been more consistent through La Source, the first corner on the lap, you know, that's where he'll have to, if he needs to calm down now. There's still a reverse grid race to go. He looks great for a whole lap. Just La Source is costing him too much time, and that's why Leung was able to get back at him on the last lap. So exciting. But Des, guess what? There's one more race to go.
Great comments on Twitch. Z-Kiwi, patience, Harris, you can do it. In the end, he was pushed out to P3. James 4151. Wow, great race, very intense. Could not agree with you more. That's worth the entrance money alone. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So I think we saw some really close stuff. I think it probably will go to the stewards, but I don't think there's anything that was too bad. I think Zeffy's first move on Leung on the penultimate lap at the bus stop chicane, that was marginal, but I think Leung closed it on the braking zone. He was moving in the braking zone, so it didn't give enough space. So, but the stewards definitely need to have a look at that. But the rest, the other contact I saw between them was hard racing, but fair.
So for clarification, the drivers have got half an hour after the end of the second race to lodge any complaints and send any evidence, Alex?
That is correct. They got half an hour. They send the protest, send the videos in, and the stewards on site. Well, Not on site, and in their house we'll make the decisions.
In the meantime, Jamil Lacuna rescued 8th place, which isn't superb, but he rescued 8th place. Leung picks up the win, Carson Tang 2nd, and the 2 points for fastest lap. So Haris Zephy is not in the lead in the championship and will need to be significantly better than Leung in race number 2.
Can you remember how much you get for 3rd place?
It's 10.
10.
In race 2.
In race 1?
In race 1, it's 16.
16, so that's a 9-point
That's a
swing.
9-point deficit.
And he's 4 points, so he's 5 points down now.
Indeed.
Wow. So Harris needs to win this race.
Harris needs to win on a fastest lap. That will pick him 17 points. And they've immediately got to get their heads together because race number 2 at Spa in the dusk isn't far away.
Yeah, there's no time. There's just no time. So yes, you're right. Just have to get their heads together. This is a reverse grid. The fastest guys start at the front, those guys are the back. It's so close. Anything can happen.
Right,
Wow.
The red lights are on. Let's just get rid of the event logo and the track map. And Tony Fock is the man who is quick on pole. And we are underway. 15 more intense minutes. Mohamed Zikri and Felix Lee alongside them. Takumi and Gav Kintos get off to a good start. It's all a little bit more civilized than we're used to, or it was for a moment.
Gav Quintos goes off.
Fantastic. Now then, Lacuna. He's made some good progress early on. Jamal Lacuna's got himself up into P13 already. Where's Triple L? Triple L and Haris Zephy are 17 and 18 as the dust rises in the dusk at...
Someone just crashed at Radion, so that was a big accident there. Oh, look at that. Haris Zephy now up to 16th position. He's in front of Leung. He's just overtaken Leung. And now he's got another driver just in front of him. The Volkswagen is going to try and go around the outside. That is... Oh, he's had contact. Oh! Cars all over the place. Unlucky, but Harris survives for now.
So Zikri moved down. Up at the front, Tony Fock is in the lead. He crashed out fairly early. So I tell you what, it's going to come down to mathematics for us. 5 points is the differential between the top two. But if Jamal Lacuna can get up there, if Jamal Lacuna could get a really big tally of points, I don't think mathematically he's still out of it, Alex.
No, that's true. Oh, look at that Lacuna. There he is. He's going using the grass and more. Goes around the outside. Somehow makes it work. Wow. Jess, look at that. Was that 10 cars within 0.3 of a second? That's amazing.
He's got himself up into P6 and leading a whole gaggle behind him. Right then, let's look at Leung. Leung currently in P14. That would be pointless. P13 at the moment. Where is Haris Zephy? Zephy is just ahead of him. Zephy's up into P10. That is 1 point. 13 minutes to go. The countdown, the tick-tock clock is on.
Zephy around the outside of that corner just now. That's a real high risk move, but it pays off. He's got the slipstream now. He's going to try and go past the two Hyundais in front of him. Oh, contact between them. This is where it's risky in the middle because these cars are always having contact and it's so easy to end up spearing into another driver that's just beside you.
Let's look at the progress of Jamil Lacuna, and Jess Navarro is on board once again. Jamil up into P4, Alex Young. A story could be developing.
Wow, yeah, P4, really good indeed. Zephy's dropped back he's had a bad bus stop chicane, so he's really dropped back to P12 now. Wow, look at the gag of cars. There's no way through. We're just going to try and find a way somehow. He's getting ganged up a bit because Carlson Tang is now there holding him off. So really, the Project U car is really ganging up now on Haris Zephy.
Leung, he's got 1 point at the moment. Lacuna is into P4. I haven't got the mathematics straight to hand. We will try to work it out very, very quickly. But Leung, currently in P10, leads Haris Zephy. And Leung is the championship leader by 5 points, we reckon. 5
points indeed. And he looks like he might be able to extend it. This is perfect for him. He's in P10. He's got a rear gunner just behind him in Carlson Tang. And Zephy 2 positions behind.
Sim Racing PR Philippines are saying, well done, Jamil Lacuna. And Jamil, has got himself up into P4. Jonathan Takumi a second ahead of him. And we really should mention Tony Fock and Felix Lee because they're leading the race, Alex. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Well, so the Hong Kong contingent keep getting stronger and stronger. 1 and 2, Tony and Felix. And of course, if they're 1 and 2, it prevents the championship leaders from taking those maximum points. And look at that, Tony Fox gone, isn't he? He's going so quickly. And he's too quick. We know how fast Tony is. It's going to be really hard to reel him in now.
So Tony Fock is there, but Takumi is possibly catchable. Lacuna is there. Let's look at Leon Leo Leung. And he's got his minder, Carson Tang, right alongside him. That's a good right-hand man to have there. He's already provided valiant service today by pinching second place in race number 1, Carson Tang.
Yeah, he has. So he'll be just driving, going slow. He shouldn't be doing anything illegal, because if he does something illegal, we'll penalize him, and we have the possibility to penalize his teammates. So Carlson has to be very careful here. We're very much on the lookout for illegal driving. But within the rules, he can obviously make it very difficult for Harris Shaimi to come through.
Leung is the man in P9 at the moment. Carson right alongside him, just making sure that he's shielding him. Harris Zephy tries to get close, and it's Carson Tang in front of them as they come up the chicane. This is at the end of lap 2, and that's nicely done. Harris Zephy inside. Carson Tang gets a little push out by Carson, but he's made a place, Harris. If you're going to go for it.
He did really, he mugged Carson. I thought he was too far back, but he decided to try and make the move anyway, and he just pulled it off. But now here's La Source. He needs to get a good exit. He's been getting bad exits all through race 1. So he needs to get a good exit to try and close down the gap to his championship rival just in front of him.
Harris Zephy, we are on board. He comes down Eau Rouge. He's taken a nice line, but he's trailing Leon Leo Leung by just over a second. And no real chance maybe to capitalise as they go up there. As once again, we must go on to Tony Fock and congratulate Tony Fock, because he has been pretty solid since he joined the championship. And Felix Lee as well. Best result so far for Felix Lee, with Jonathan Takumi from Singapore in P3. Lacuna slowly but surely making up ground on Jonathan Takumi.
Yeah, so I just want to go back to the championship fight though, because Leung, there he is. Defending from someone, but then a little bit further back, here we are with Harris Zephy. This is the lap. He needs to be perfect for this lap because it's running out of time now. It's almost half distance, and he needs to try and close in on Leung, because Leung's already 2 cars in front.
It's not enough to get in front of Leung. He's got to get in front of him by quite a number of cars. Leung is being caught up in traffic. Harris Zephy can see those 5 in front of him. They're Francis Angelo Gonzalo, Leung, Adam Amir, and Nasri Aslan, and also Gav Quintos. So he's the only real Malaysian teammate he's got there is Nasri Aslan. If he's looking for any kind of support, he makes a move there on Francis Angelo Gonzalez, who's not being very friendly.
Yeah, no, doesn't have to. These are all drivers racing in their own right. They want that piece of tarmac. They want to win the race. Oh, but Francis goes wide. It allows Harris through, and now Harris has his championship rival in his sights.
Okay, so Harris Zephy's got himself up into P8, but you look at that clock, it ticks alarmingly fast if you are chasing a position up at the front. Occasionally, we've got to mention Tony Fock. He's increased his lead to 4.5 seconds. He's absolutely on his own, coming down the start-finish line, going into lap number 4 for Tony Fock. It's a big lead from Felix Lee. Lacuna is there in 4th, still making up a little bit of ground there on Jonathan Takumi. So Lacuna isn't out of it, Alex, particularly if Leung has a problem.
Oh, look at that. Now they're back together again. Zephy follows. Did he follow?
Zephy's in trouble. Zephy's in trouble.
Wow.
He's lost pace again at that first corner, La Source.
He really doesn't like La Source. Wow, how astonishing that he might lose his championship all down to 1 corner. But yes, he's really good at uphill tasks now, not just figuratively like in the track, but in real life.
Young has got 3 places advantage over Haris Zephy. Sergeant Carson Tang is right in front of Haris Zephy as well. He'll try to provide an obstacle already. Oh, and there's Francis Angelo Gonzalo trying to make life difficult. Haris Zephy is friendless and is out of the race. Haris Zephy's championship comes to a standstill, Alex Young.
Wow, too much contact in the early laps. Wasn't quite able to pick his way through surgically enough. And maybe some of the other drivers making it a bit tough for him. Bit of contact here and there because Angelo came from nowhere. Don't know what he was thinking. Yes, went over the 50 incident points. And that's it. Look how dejected he is. I really feel for him because he's been doing such a good job this year. But unfortunately, that's it. Championship over.
It was a valiant effort, but now he needs to worry whether Jamil Lacuna can pip him for P2. Leung is pretty safe. Leung in 8th at the moment, maybe just has to drive safely over these next few laps, but Lacuna is going hell for leather. He's got himself up into P3, and he's got Felix Lee ahead of him. But in front of Felix Lee, Tony Fock has got a huge lead over Felix Lee. There's Tony. I can't believe what it says at 13 seconds. I can't believe Lacuna's that far behind. But
wow,
no,
it is.
not.
But look at that. Who's got the fastest lap? Must be Tony Fock. Actually, he doesn't. Fastest lap is actually Jamil Lacuna. Jamil Lacuna's got the fastest lap at the moment. So, yeah, if he can get up to 2nd, that'd be really good for him. But I fear Tony Fock is just too far away.
Right. Lacuna is in P3. We'll keep going back to Leung. Haris Zephy, it's lonely in the pits, isn't it? But that's good news for Triple L. He started the season very well, went a little bit cold, has come red hot in the latter stages, took the victory in race 1 here in a pulsating race. And now, maybe for the first time this season, Alex Young, Triple L can just relax a little bit.
Yeah, he can. But, yeah, I mean, the championship's done. But, you know, he still wants to finish the race, try and get as many points as possible. What's that saying? Don't count your chickens before they hatch. But yeah, he's doing a good job at the moment. He'll be looking at the cars in front. I think, I'm not sure if anyone's in his ear telling him that his championship rival's out, but he just got to focus on the race. He'll see that his championship rival's not in his mirror anymore, which will give him great encouragement. So maybe he'll just be a bit careful on how he overtakes, but I'm sure he'll fancy his chances of taking 1, maybe 2 more positions before the checkered flag.
Adam Amir and Sergeant Carson Tang are the ones just in front of him. That's Lacuna. Right, now we've got better timings. Lacuna in P3 is just the 2nd adrift of Felix Lee. 15 points for 1st, 12 for 2nd, 10 for 3rd. There's a racer just looks like he's going to be overtaken there because Tony Fock is a good 7 seconds clear. That's maybe where the confusion came earlier on. But Lacuna is giving this a real go, Alex Young.
Yeah, he is. He is. I mean, I think he knows the championship's pretty much done for him at this point, but he's still going to charge hard. He's a real racer. He's going to still try and finish 2nd if he can. And who knows, maybe Tony Fock will make a mistake in front of him and then Jamil can even get the win.
Sim Racing PH are very much on Jamil's side. Go Lacuna, go Lacuna. But the championship could well be destined for the north of Asia and Hong Kong, or the north of Southeast Asia, Hong Kong. Young.
Yeah, it's been great to have some Hong Kong representation and Macau, of course. Carson Tang is from Macau. But yes, it looks like it's going to go to Hong Kong this year. Well, pretty much sorted on that. And Triple L, as we call him, Leung, he has done a really good job. Yeah, he started off strongly in the first race, kind of faded a little bit, but was still, you know, pretty consistent. Reverse grid races have not been his forte, I have to say. He's had some really bad reverse grid races. But today, you know, very controlled drive. Could have all gone wrong in race 1, but did it really well. And he's had a really controlled drive here in race 2 to get back into the points.
Comes into his final lap. It is his for the taking. Jamil Lacuna is the man currently in P3. Would love to get close to Felix Lee and maybe just nick P2. Is he likely to make the move on this final lap, Alex?
For sure he's going to have a go. They've fairly similar runs out of Eau Rouge, though. You can see quite of him using quite a bit of curb. Oh, it looks like he's closing the gap. Slipstream is coming into play. maybe Felix Lee's not using 6th gear early enough. You can use 6th gear here because if you stay in 5th, you just run out of revs. The car just dies. You have to use the torque in 6th gear to get a bit more speed up to Le Combe. But yeah, no. At the moment, all stations are being held.
Let's go back to the race leader. He is 8 seconds clear. It's been really good from Tony Fock. He started on pole. He didn't have a good qualification, had a dreadful race 1, but as usual, he is quick enough. He has got Belgium to himself, has Tony. Felix Lee in 2nd. Lacuna will try to make a move here for P3.
Well, P2, shall we say.
P2, sorry, yes.
Yeah, he's close enough. He's got a great exit out of Pouillon. He's going to get really close. If he can get these next 3 corners perfect, he'll have a real run on Felix Lee into the bus stop chicane.
Jamil Lacuna for the Philippines, trying to pick up 12 points and maybe a bonus 14. Leon Leo Young is in 8th place at the moment. That'll be 3 points for him. Lacuna finding life difficult to get around Felix Lee, though. Felix, though, goes a little bit wide. Right up his tail is Jamil Lacuna. Lacuna tries to accelerate past Felix Lee. Defends for all he's worth. Felix has got the right line. Jamil just can't get around the outside.
Okay, now he's just going to pull into the slipstream, keep it flat to Blanchimont, which he does. Oh, that wasn't good enough, though. He's lost some more ground. He's not really close enough, but I'm sure he's going to have a go. Nah, Felix Lee defends the inside, does the right thing.
Tony Fock has won it. There's the big applause for him. Behind him, Lacuna comes alongside but can't get 2nd place. It's a Hong Kong 1-2. And now let's just enjoy Leon Leo Leung making his way through over the finish line. 8th place for him, 3 points in total, but that will be enough for him to pick up the title. Indeed, he just pipped Adam Amer to make it a 4-point final race, but when his championship rivals disappeared off the horizon, Leon Leo Leung adds a win in race number 1 and can celebrate, unofficially for now, but can celebrate a title of the bronze class of the eRacing GP Season 2.
Whew, that's a really good race there. Yeah, well, congratulations, Triple L. That's our new nickname for you. Really, really good job. Our bronze champion, our inaugural bronze champion.
Let's mention Tony Fock as well. We hardly focused on him. Real apologies to him. But this is a good day at this level for the Hong Kong racers. And several of these I think you will need to elevate if and when Season 3 kicks off, Alex, into a better category.
Definitely. I think we definitely need to do that. I would say about 6 of them really need to go up to silver class. Just like there are about 6 in bronze and in copper that need to come up to bronze. So, you know, we're going to take a break after this this second global edition we're having, and it will give us a chance to look at the categories, the rankings, and see where they should move up while we decide what we're going to do for the next one.
Let's just have a spare a thought for a lonely Harris Zeffy. Too many incident points pushed him out in the end, and it was just too aggressive. And as in the first race, he was very aggressive in the first race, as was Jamal Lacuna. Yeah.
So, and Harris I think he paid for that a little bit because he got the move, he made it into the lead in the race 1, but then he bad start at La Source. So that was a shame for him.
Confirmation. Jamal Lacuna, fastest lap. Tony Fock with the race win. Felix Lee 2nd. Lacuna will pick up 2 points to add to his 10, so that's a 12-point haul. Takumi Lee, good result for him. Gav Quintos, welcome back, Gav, post-suspension in P5. Carson Tang and Leung eventually getting 7th. That will be 4 points, and unofficially, Leon Leo Leung is our bronze champion. Great stuff.
Yeah, really good stuff. So, that's an exciting bronze race. I mean, that first race just now is probably one of the most exciting races we've had in the Global Edition, full stop. Really, really enjoyed that. Championship rivals coming down to the end. A reverse grid race was also exciting, but unfortunately we lost our 2 championship rivals. Well, our main championship rival to Leong, which was Harris Zeffy. But, wow, congrats to the Hong Kong driver.
Coming up later on today, we've got the silver. That starts, well, the server is open and the race starts in about 15 minutes time. Then we've got the gold final, which is still there for Naqib Aslan to try to upset Alif Hamilton, retaining his crown. Just to get us into the mood for that, let's look at the highlights from the gold final that took place last week, where Naqib really put the pressure on Alif. This is the gold final from round 5. 40 minutes of racing coming your way. Naqib gets off to a steady start. He takes Ayman Hazik along with him. Alif Hamilton drops in very nicely alongside Jason Tay and Kalen Chin into P5. We're on board there with Kalen Chin. He's got Tadashi and Inigo Anton alongside, and also Andy Karama, who I'm delighted to say, and I'm sure he's relieved, has got off to a good start. Alif Hamilton, though, let's go on board with Alif. We've got 3 on-board cameras here, and that's the perfect steady start for Alif. You just need to keep Naqib in his sights, Alex Young.
These guys are so many good drivers here. Ayman Hazik won his first race. So they got Alif now up to second place ahead of Naqib. Fourth place, Jason Tate, who had an excellent pole position yesterday.
Generally, it has worked, and the practitioners are now becoming expert of when to operate DRS to its maximum.
Yeah, so with DRS, with such a big, strong effect of having the drag reduction system, you can see Kalen Chin's rear wing there. It makes the racing very different. You have to think about racecraft as Alif Hamilton goes by into the lead, and you have to think about peloton racing, almost like cycling. That is very true. But you can see Alif, isn't he? He's not concerned about mistakes right now. He's pushing. Look at that gap, both of them. And then Naqib's going with him. Alif is really trying to break the back here of the slipstream, trying to get the gap. Because if he can get that gap just for the pit stops, that could really suit him very well. Naqib knows this though. That's why Naqib was so aggressive to try and overtake Ayman into turn 1, because he wants to go with Alif. These are the guys who have been leading the championship from day 1. Alif's been leading from day 1. Naqib's been there or thereabouts, and they are really pushing now.
Ayman Hazik can almost see them disappearing. It's just over a second. Ayman Hazik.
Or the back to the fight for the lead in this race. Naqib uses the DRS and he drags by just at the right spot, and he will have DRS for the rest of this lap. So if he's perfect for this lap, who knows, maybe he can break. Oh, he's made a mistake though. That's not what he wanted to do. He's made a mistake. And he's ruined his chance of breaking away.
Wow, even the top boys make mistakes. We mentioned the mistakes might be crucial. And Alif, well, that's him losing the position. And then, hopefully, this replay will stay long enough and we can see how he wins it back as we focus on the left-hand screen on the live action. We're about 20 seconds behind the live action. And there is the Naqib error.
4/10 up. Is that enough to hold the lead for one more lap? That is the big question. I don't think it is. Alif Hamilton's just going to stream on by into turn 1 and takes the lead. The Singaporean back into the lead. For Hamilton, this would be the perfect time to pit, I feel. Oh, he thinks about it, but decides to stay out for one more lap. Now to this left-handed double left. Whoa, what happens now? You know, Alif's got a big gap. He might decide to stay out another lap then. If he can... Oh no, they both decide to pit, strangely enough.
So then, Tadashi comes in as well. Kalen Chin stays out, and Kalen Chin goes into the lead. Big gamble by the young fella.
And looks like he's going to be changing front and rear tyres. So that's good. DTM cars are really hard on tyres, so you need to change both axles.
So Kalen Chin, let's just see where he is as he's into the pit lane. He can just take a rest and a little bit of liquid on board. So Kalen Chin was the race leader. He was 3rd place when Naqib and Alif did it. Let's see where Alif is. Well, they come past. It's going to be Alif and Naqib, who I think have extended their lead over Kalen Chin. Alif Hamilton leads, but look at this. Naqib has got DRS, and oh, there's a little bit of a back marker there, and Naqib had to back off on the move. I don't think he's really going to use it, or is he going to accelerate yet? He may well accelerate over the start-finish line to take the lead.
Yeah, I think this is when he's going to try and be the hare for a while. I think he's going to try and take the lead, and he's going to try and pump in a couple very quick laps, quickest laps he can manage, and see if he can break the toe to Alif Hamilton.
Up at the front, Alif Hamilton has retaken the lead. How many lead changes that we've had between these two? I think it's at least 6.
Yeah, at least, maybe more. But Leaf looking a little bit more in control at this point in the race. I think he actually is a slight bit faster than Naqib, unless of course Naqib's hiding his true pace. Maybe Naqib's hiding his pace, but at the moment Alif is looking in control.
Remember, Naqib won with 100 meters to go in yesterday's race number 1, so he is certainly a master of DRS. He knows when to utilize it and how to use it to its absolute best. But now Alif Hamilton is sprinting away. Alex, a 1 second differential as they go through Aqua Minerale once again.
Alif is trying really hard to try and make this gap permanent, but Naqib is just not giving up, and he's just outside.
Kalen's lost his P3.
Yeah, Iman's back in front now. He's obviously used DRS to good effect there. Kalen also looking in his rearview mirrors as well as he goes through these corners.
He's got the 2 left-handers, Rivatsa, to go through. I'm sure he'll negotiate it. And Alif Hamilton, a masterclass from the Singaporean eRacing GP, defending Global Edition champion. And he's going to go into the final round of the season with a lead. He's won here at Imola, a second and a half clear of Mohammed Naqib. Tadashi comes in P3, Jason Tay in 4, head of Kalen Chin, who just holds off Ayman Haziq. But Alif Hamilton, Alex Young, if we go on board, we'll get a little celebration, and it's only a little celebration. He knows there's still a lot of work to do.
Yeah, look at the relief in his face, so he knew he needed to win today. So, welcome back. That was the gold final highlights from round 5 the previous week. My name's Alex Young, and next to me, which is this side, is Amo Haziq. Welcome, Amo.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you for the warm work as usual, as it has been throughout the entire season.
Yeah.
Looking forward to this one.
Yes, it is, and awesome to have you here as well. We actually just watched the bronze final, and that was close, wasn't it? Triple L, Leong winning over Haris Zephy.
Yeah, in fact, Leong kept his head together when Zephy didn't, unfortunately. And the fact that he had his team to back him up, which was a big coup. It really helped his mental throughout the entire race. So that's why he got the title, because he had not only his mental strength was strong, but he had the support of his team. So if anything, if there's a team support in this race, you get from any support, like from teammates or even friends, you can win it. It's almost a big cliche, but yeah, that's how Leong got it.
Well done. Okay, so now we've got to turn our attention. We've got the silver final coming up. We are in obviously the round 6 of the Global Edition Europe. This is the final round of this edition. So now silver final is up, and let's have a look at the championship points coming into this round. So it looks like it's all Mohammed Nabil from Malaysia, doesn't it? It looks like he's got a good 20-point lead from Tasbi. Nabil and Tasbi have been the standout drivers for this whole edition, this whole series. I have to say though, Yevan David has really come on strong as he came on. He won a race. He won a race 1 in the last round. Jaden Lowe in 4th, Dylan Tan in 5th. Jin Masvilton, a cousin actually of Tasbi and Hamilton, in P6. Brian Keefe in 7th, Falsten in 8th. Shazlian Han in 9th, and Daniel Martin round out the top 10. However though, Amo, when we take into consider drop points, let's see what the top 3 look like now. That's how close it is. Mohammed Nabil and Mohammed Tasbi from Malaysia and Singapore respectively on 143 points. They are tied. Like I said, they've been the class performers of this silver class so far this year, and they are going to go tied in points. Yevan David from Sri Lanka in 3rd position, but really, today is all going to be about the front 2.
Oh, that's almost a dead heat. That's beyond a dead heat. That's pressure is on for both of those drivers. And if anything, this is the race that will make or break their entire season, and it is the final round. So they have to make every point count, even in qualifying. They have to be one up on each other so that they can have to stand the best possible chance of winning this championship. What a way to do it as well. And the fact that the brothers are also close in the gold class kind of proves how these two sets of brothers are on it. They are the best in this field. Yeah.
So just so you know, the gold final comes up after silver. And the guys leading that is Mohammed Tasbi's brother, Alif Hamilton. And challenging for the title is Mohammed Nabil's brother, Naqib. So It is. I think there has to be said something to be. There's a benefit of sharing sims at home. Maybe they know how to. They work together and they get little tips and they learn off each other, because we see a lot of families doing well in motorsports when they train together. But yeah, so very close. We just saw the bronze final. It came down to such fine margins. That's what I love about motorsports. Ammo, don't you love that about motorsports? I mean, and it's going to come down to fine margins as well. Both Tasbin and Nabu have made mistakes this year. Which way are you going to call it?
No, I wouldn't want to call it either, actually. I will probably stick out like a sore thumb if I say so. But yeah, it's kind of like if they're going to have probably a bad race or maybe a good race. It depends, because in these championship crunches, normally the drivers who are in the championship hunts will have really bad races. We've seen it before, like for example in MotoGP 2006, Valentino Rossi and Nicky Hayden. They went all the way to the last race, and uncharacteristically, both were not at the front of the grid. They were in the midfield. Hayden had the help of his Repsol Honda teammates while Rossi dropped it. So that's kind of like the key difference that decided that championship. It could be like that. It could go this way here in this round for the silver class.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And we saw in the bronze class just finished, and also in gold groups yesterday, that there is a benefit having teammates out there. Do you think that'll play out today?
Yeah, definitely. As we saw in the gold classes now, the Project New weight class team. Yeah, they really helped Leon all the way from start to finish, race 1, race 2. So they came to his aid when he really needed it, and to their reward, they got plenty to brag about now with the championship in the bag.
Yeah, but Tasby here doesn't really have any ties with any official teams. Neither does Nabil. I don't think the team effect is going to be as strong. But they're going to be out there racing. But I tell you what, there's a couple of drivers that could throw a span in the works. Yevan David has been very, very good. Jaden Lowe also has been very, very quick. So it's not as simple as just these two driving around by themselves, is it?
No. And also the fact that, mentioning about the brothers just now, I was about to say it's a bit nepotism, and I would say yes so as well here, because remember, is Miss Wilton here? Yes, he is, I think. Yeah, he is. So he has the benefit of having a cousin here. So that's still a bit of nepotism involved, where his cousin could actually help him win the title by either blocking Nabil or just stalling him a bit, so that Tasbik has a better chance of winning the championship.
Okay, so
Nabil, yeah, he has the odds against him if that was the case.
Okay, so now someone gets very sideways there in the Audi. We are at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit, one of the best tracks in the world. Let's just take an onboard lap with Jason Tay, who will be coming up later in the gold final. Sorry, Mikko Nasi will be coming up later in the gold final.
Alright, welcome to Spa-Francorchamps. Track in Belgium has been around since forever. Let's go for a lap. We're in the Mercedes AMG DTM. And heading up to a very tight right-hand corner here. The source, it'll make it really tough on the start, with everyone crowding into a really tight corner there. And then coming up to one of the most famous corners in the world. And depending on who you ask, it's either a Rouge or Radion. I think the correct one is Radion. And then the very, very long camel straight where a lot of drivers will be using their DRS and flying past the guys in front of them. And then let come here, we'll try to hook our left tire on the curb there, gives us a bit of extra grip. And really quick Malmedy here, you can use a lot of the track on the left there. And then a really slow downhill hairpin here, Rivage, because of the downhill really wants to understeer. And turn 11, really tough corner to get right, also because it goes downhill. It's tough to time correctly. And then really quick entry here for Pouan. Just keeping it on the track, controlling it with the throttle. And another right-left section here. And there's not a lot of grip on the exit there for some reason. Really tough to get to turn in. Turn 13, and then a really, really long full throttle run here. And this will be another favorite DRS spot, but also a risky one with these two corners coming up. Should be pretty easy to go DRS through here, but the second one here, it's full throttle. Blanchimot very easy to lose control if you keep the DRS open there. And then finally, the bus stop chicane to end the lap. Missed my apex there a little bit. And then really careful on the throttle exiting the final corner. And that's a lap.
Wow, okay, so that lap with Mikko Nasi. Practice is just finishing, and if you look at the top left there, Tasby is quickest at the moment, 11.6. That's pretty quick. We've seen faster times, though. We've seen times in the low 11s, even the high 10s. So there's a little bit more time there. Oh, look at that. Nabil, though, in 10th position in the Audi. He's not showing very much pace at the moment at all.
Maybe he has the sandbags on. Who knows? He is driving. No, he's not driving the Mercedes. He's driving the Audi. But yeah, probably he's not showing his true colors yet because he just probably wants to give Tasby a bit of a relieving factor to make him complacent for the qualifying. Who knows?
Yeah.
We might still have Nabil showing his best form. Not yet.
Yeah, just saw a shot of Norris O there going around. And so everyone's just coming to the pits. Practice is finished now. Noso from Japan. Nice to have Japanese drivers with us as well. As qualifying is just about to start. And really, I don't know how to call this. You've got Tasby and Nabil tied on points in two very different cars around the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Any small mistake will get punished. We saw it on the bronze class where Harris Zeffy just had that too much contact and was ejected out of the game and cost him the championship.
Yeah, commiserations to him though, because he did well throughout the entire season to get up to that point, but unfortunately he didn't have a buddy with him in that race to really help him with his championship charges. But hey, our second place is not too bad for him. I think he finished second in the championship. Yeah, should be second. And meanwhile, back to the silver class. Look at that. First to 14th, 1.1 seconds. So a small mistake here could be detrimental to where you start on the grid.
Yeah, it's a lot closer than we normally see. Yeah, a lot of quick drivers there though. We're just waiting for qualifying to start. For some reason, it's taking a bit longer for qualifying to get going, but we should be going in a moment now. Mohamed Tasby is in the yellow BMW. We could have... Well, oh, that's interesting.
We were on the moon there for a second.
But just while we're waiting, the qualifying is started. We go. We'll follow Nabil, I think. Actually, he's...
Oh, no.
He's too much acceleration out of the last corner, and he has spun it. So he'll have to restart. Let's follow Tasby then. Tasby in the yellow BMW, loves the same color scheme as his brother, and here we go.
Yep. Now then, coming through the start of the lap, coming up to the source, this is where the trouble zones are, especially what happened in 2012, where Romain Grosjean went over the top of Fernando Alonso's car. And right here in 1998 is where F1 cars went up completely in one of the biggest start line crashes in F1 history. Okay, now besides that, we come up now to Eau Rouge and Raidillon. Full throttle here. You can actually pull the DRS open if you want to, but in this case, there's no DRS in qualifying, so the cars are safe. They'll be planted, otherwise they'll hit that outside barrier outside Raidillon. Now then, onto the camera straight. We saw cars going 3 wide here yesterday, especially in TCR, and indeed the DTM cars as well. DRS becoming a big factor in the races. Come up to Lecom. Now you can see the escape road there. That's where the old circuit goes to, up into the mountains of up into the Ardennes Mountains. Right now, this is the modern layout since 1983. Through Lecom, and now they drop to Bruxelles. Third gear, and now second, just to get the drive better out of the corner. And now he moves up to third before dropping back to second, I think. No, he keeps third coming through Jackie X corner. Yeah, you said just now it was no-name corner, but officially I think it's called Jackie X corner. Named after the Belgian legend and Le Mans winner Jackie X. Through Pouhon, also known as Double Gauche, aka Double Left in French. He kept it in fourth, about 200 km per hour. Due to the downforce in these cars, he could easily go that flight if he wanted to. Now then, through Fagnes, or the pit path, yes, due to the fact that Spa-Francorchamps, the corners have 2 separate names. That's one of them. And then through Campus, and all the way down back to the racing ground.
Yeah, and look at that. He's just about to go through Sector 2, isn't he, Ammo? Yep. He's fastest of all in Sector 1. He's fastest in Sector 2. Looking good so far.
Yep, and looking good here as he comes back into the third sector and back to the start-finish line, where the old circuit and the new circuit meets. Through Blanchimont, and he's looking good so far. He might be on for a 210, I think, because he was close in qualifying to a 210. He was about 211.6. If he finds the extra 6 tenths, he'll be right up there in the gold class. Through the bus stop chicane, clean as you like. He hits the first apex and he hits the second. A bit of a shimmy coming out of there, but now he's onto the start-finish line. Will the time be a 211 or a 210? It is a 2:11.3 dead.
That's not quick enough, I feel. I feel that's not going to be good enough for pole. Let's go now. Look at Nabil. But Nabil, though, he also doesn't get the lap together. 2:11.4. So, wow, these drivers, they're on pole at the moment, but that's not as quick as I thought they'd be. So maybe they will be, how shall I say, there is a chance of getting someone getting on pole. Yevan David was unable to do a lap. We know he's quick enough to put it on pole. Let's see if he can do that. We didn't see what a Sector 1 time is. But at the moment, championship rivals at the front. Dylan Tan in third. Martin in fourth. A new driver, Joan Hai, in sixth position. I think, but on track right now, the only one possibly capable of challenging the front two is the driver we're riding on board right now with, Yevan David.
And we can say he is the form guy coming into this race because he did win last time out in Imola in race 1. He had a better race too. I think he was the only one among the championship leaders to score decent points. He's not in it for the championship, unfortunately, but he can still be a disruptor to the front two, and he can make a meal out of them.
Yeah, that's very true indeed. We're not seeing his sector times as he comes through this middle sector. He's coming to the end of the middle sector at the moment. But it looks like a pretty neat lap. Will he have enough time to finish it, though? There's only 50 seconds to go. One more sector to go. That should be... Oh, no, look at that. We've got the sector times coming now. Sector 2 was his fastest Sector 1, Sector 2 of all, but it's still 7 tenths down on pole. So it looks like Mohamed Tasbi is going to take pole position. And with that, the championship lead.
Yep. That 1 point deficit, as I said earlier, qualifying could be crucial between these two guys, and there it is. First and second, 5 and 4 points, just 1 point in it between them two now in the championship standings. As David now comes up to the line, I thought he was not going to say it live because his timing screen was not appearing, but there we go. He comes across the line now. Where does he qualify?
P5.
And there we go.
So Tasbi, Nabil, Tan, Elman, and Yevan David round out the top 5. It's looking very good indeed for Mohamed Tasbi. First blow to Mohamed Tasbi. With that 5 points for pole position, Nabil only gets 4 points for second place. Tasbi now leads the championship by 1 point. But let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, there are 2 races to go. Race 1 is a normal race, with race 2 a reverse grid race. I'd like to welcome back your commentators, Des Corkill with Amo Hazik.
Tasbi and Nabil on the front row of the grid. In many ways, you kind of expected they have been the star turns of this championship silver edition so far. Tasbi and Nabil, they were all on the podium last week as well, alongside Yevan David. The big 2 boys have got up to the top. So we have got 2 races to go. It's round the Spa-Francorchamps circuit, and I know you're reluctant to make any kind of a prediction, but what are you saying?
I would say no. You put me on the spot here, but I would still say I wouldn't want to call it. This is way too close. You can cut the tension with a cricket stump. Okay,
Mohamed Nabil is currently, well, there's Tasbi and Nabil are on the line. The red lights are on. Amo Hazik is in the commentary box alongside me, and we are underway. Tasbi has got off to a good start, but Nabil has got off to a screaming start. Nabil in the white and Tasbi as they come round La Source for the very first time, right from the first corner. Amo, they are going at it hammer and tongs.
Oh boy, look at that. Nabil made an absolutely blind overstart. Or is it because that Tasbi made a slow getaway? But whatever it is, Nabil got the start he wanted. Now, he's got in front of his championship rival. Advantage to him, but unfortunately, it's only the first lap. And look at that, the slipstream here from Tasbi on the Camel Straight. Will he get him at Lake Com? This is side by side coming, and there's Yevan David. He comes around the outside. This is 3-way battle coming into Lake Com. Who's going to blink first?
Oh my word, there is contact. Tasbi forces his way through. It's actually Dylan Tan who's on the course there, and Dylan Tan has got himself into P3. Troy Iman in there. Now then, going all the way down, Nabil has dropped off the radar. Mohamed Nabil is now, he's stopped. Nabil has stopped and is out of the race. Amo, talk to me.
Oh no, that's it. That's the championship gone. There's no way back for him now. 25-point swing to Tasbi, and in this case he already got a pole position ahead of him, so it's a 26-point swing to Tasbi, and if he gets more, which is for the fastest lap, That's it. The championship's gone right here, right now. He has dropped it at Lake Combe.
No.
My word. But there might have been contact from Dylan, or he could have lost it himself. But whatever it is, that's it. It's now over. Tasby will be champion.
I was going to say, forgive me for being suspicious, but Dylan Tan is in the mix. He introduced the contact, and Mohammed Nabil is still stranded in the pits. We'd love to get some thoughts from Mohammed Nabil. Oh dear.
Whoa. And looks like someone else is out as well. I think no, it's only Nabil. So because I see Ariazmi's time there is not blinking up either. So thought he might have been involved in that scrap, in that little kerfuffle at Lake Combe. But whatever it is, that is the crucial moment in the championship. Tasby now can take it easy, unless of course Dylan Tan will make his life very miserable indeed.
I'm sure Dylan Tan will try to make life difficult. Kerfuffle, by the way, is a trademark word. You got to ask permission to use that one. Troy Iman is the man in P3. Yevon David, who you mentioned earlier, he's in P4, and Yevon is in a rich Venus form as well. Let's see how much he uses the DRS down through Eau Rouge.
Well, he's taking it now, coming through Eau Rouge and through the support paddock where they use it for the Spa 24. He lifts off. Look at that. At Eau Rouge he turned it on, but then he turned off for Lake Combe. Sorry, for Radion. Only to turn it back on after Radion. And look at that. He's got a run on Troy Amon. Passes him easily. Troy Amon had nothing to do there. He can do anything there. He was just a sitting duck.
In the DRS, Dylan Tan has utilised that quite nicely. He has taken the lead. Tell you what, he's young, but he's a thorn in the side of the top races. Dylan Tan, Mohammed Tasby currently in P2. And there is Tasby on board with him. I think it's Alif that we can see in the background waiting to get on. But Tasby, just do not make a mistake, son. I think that's the message, Amo.
Yep. He's crossing his arms there. He's watching this seriously like Lewis Hamilton watching Nicholas Hamilton in touring car races. He is spurring his brother on, but he's not showing it. He knows that deep inside, he has to concentrate real hard right now. The championship's on the line. He's there for the taking. He doesn't need to muck it up now.
Aris Zefi Ray is on board with us on Twitch. Oh my word, Nabil, I feel for you, bro, he says. After having introduced himself, I think we all feel for him. Also, the championship, how we'd love it to go down to the final race. But Mohammed Tasby, I think, is the one guy out there who doesn't feel for Nabil at the moment.
Nope. He would like to put salt to his wound right now by getting the fastest lap. But at the moment, second place is not bad either. He could just hang 10 behind Dylan to actually just get the 20 points that he needs to just seal the title now. Whatever he does, if he were even second or first, it will do him quite well. Even third will do, because that was 16 points. Remember, there's only 15 points for a win in race 2. And if good, Nabil is on the front of the grid. He could make that work, but unfortunately, it's still a tall order even then.
Birthday boy Yevon David is coming through in P3, just over 2 seconds adrift. Behind him, you've got Juan He on debut, who's at the tail end. He's in P9 at the moment, but it's a decent performance from Juan on this his debut at eRacing GP. Not brave enough, though, to implement the DRS going down Eau Rouge, though.
Yep, shows how he's not that brave, because this is his debut. He doesn't want to muck it up. He has points in the bag right now. And also the fact that guys who have been used to this DTM car will not hesitate to use it. As we go back to the front of the grid now, Tasby has retaken the lead.
Yeah, I think that's going to swap. Looks like they may well be working together, so long as Dylan's not going to barge him out of the way, which you never can tell with Dylan Tan just at the moment, the young Singaporean, but he surely wouldn't do that to his countrymen, would he? Singapore 1 and 2 at the moment. Troy Amon a very distant third in P3, 3 seconds adrift. Yevon David is the man who's trying to get onto him. There's a train of cars through there, and Japan's Franus Nois O is leading the third train of cars. He's in P10 ahead of Mark Voltaire, Oman and Joaquim Garrido. But Tasby is the story.
Yep, this is his championship to lose now. And behind him is, if you look closely at their profile photos as well, Dylan Tan, Troy Amon, and Yevon David are all with the Stratos team. So, well, actually not Dylan. Troy Amon and Yevon David are with the Stratos team, and they're working together now to actually get a good result for them. Remember, yesterday we had the the David brothers 1 and 2. They might want to get a good day here today as well.
Yevon David will be looking to make it a very good weekend for the David clan. On his birthday as well. He's closing up onto the tail end of Troy Iman, 0.3 of a second between them as they come into this fast part of the circuit down onto the chicane 19 and 20. They will be going into lap 4 here. Mohammed Tasby has got himself a bit of a lead from Dylan Tan. It's over a second, so Dylan will not have DRS, and Tasby can effectively win the title in the next couple of laps.
And I think he might have broken his resolve too, because Dylan, even though he had the opportunity to close him up in the last few corners, especially the fact that DRS may be not in use by Tasby in any of those places where he shouldn't be using, he's lost it. He's lost the gap to him and Tasby. Now, he has to regain that back in this lap, which is a tall order in itself. But if Tasby makes a mistake, he might actually still be in a shout to win this race.
I think you're clutching at straws there. Tasby doesn't make many mistakes as he comes through to Les Combes at the end of the long straight. He is on lap 4. That lead has just retained a 1 second plus, and he didn't use DRS at all on that long straight, Ammo. What's going on there?
Well, because he was actually not behind Dylan. He had the DRS the previous lap. So if he used it at the start-finish line, he could still have it by the time he reached the source. But by then, the DRS advantage would be gone. He'll have to race it the old-fashioned way. Unless he could do like what some of the other drivers did in Group B yesterday, which is to back off and actually get the DRS on the last lap, which proved to be calamitous for some drivers, especially for Ayman, who actually got knocked out of the race, and Mikko Nassi won. So I don't think that Tasby will have to resort to that kind of tactics to win a race. He is way out in front right now.
Kevin David's got himself up into P3 ahead of Troy Iman. Daniel Martin in 5. Jaden Lowe, who's another quick Singaporean. Tell you what, Singapore 1, 2, 6 and 7 at the moment. And Jin Masvilton is the man who's putting pressure on Jaden Lowe and Dan Martin, the two BMWs chasing the Audi just at the moment. It's a BMW in the lead, but otherwise Mercedes 2, 3 and 4 on the first of the Audis. Dan Martin in P5.
Not looking good for so far. And the fact that, happy to see there's more Audis in this particular round, because I mentioned about a few rounds before, even the last round, that the Audis are not the most favored car in this championship. Most of them are just Mercedes. Even BMW gets less of that, but Audi seems to be the least. And luckily we get a bit more representation here. Is another Stratos driver in 5th, Daniel Martin. So 3rd, 4th and 5th are covered by Stratos drivers, and he's the one actually holding up the train behind him right now.
Let's have a look back at the front, and Tasby 1.5 seconds clear. Let's get on the back of him coming down Eau Rouge. It really is a beautiful shot. We're lucky on the virtual to be able to get this shot. You don't get this even on the real Grand Prix, and all you see is sky. Above us only sky. You should write a song with those lyrics as they come down this long straight. Once again, Tasby has been able to hold off Dylan Tan, Ammo, and it's looking good for the Singaporean.
And to get what you said just now, I would say, imagine all the people who are here to see this race right now in real life.
Very good. Poor old Nabil, though. He's been joined by Emiliano Cyrus and Arif Azmi in the pits. But Nabil, oh dear, dear, dear.
Disconsolate is the best I could describe it. He is not... I don't think we even can approach him for even an interview, because that is not the way that he wanted to end his championship. It looked good, and we were in for a grandstand finish, but unfortunately, an anticlimactic way to end the season, and you can put a champagne on ice again.
That's exactly when you want to interview them. Tears are great television, Ammo. That's something we need to teach you. Troy Iman's got himself back ahead of Yevon David into P3. Yevon David, so they're swapping, trying to maybe just draw in on Dylan Tan, who's himself in P2. Let's look at one or two of the debutants. Juan He, he's having a good battle here. He's got Dan Martin, Jan Masvilton and Justin Hung and Jaden Lowe in a train ahead of him. But he's competing well at this stage, lapping around about the 2:13.2 mark.
And team boss James Russell will be happy to look at this. His young charge is performing so well virtually. Let's hope that he could get that underway in the real world later on this year, once proper racing resumes in the region. As now he had the DRS, I think he turned it on for a second, then he turned it off. Now coming through Blanchimont up to the bus stop chicane. Will he go inside? Will he get outside? Nope. He didn't think of either of the two. He stays behind Daniel Martin, and he will have DRS for the next lap. But Martin goes a bit wide here coming through the bus stop. He's got DRS, and he will have the DRS the next time round as well. He's got to go around the outside at La Sauce. Will he make it stick? Here he goes. hangs around the outside. You can hear the machine in the mechanism inside the DRS turn off. And there you go. 8th place is now Juan Hees, and he's got the DRS again for the next lap.
That's very impressive from Juan. In the meantime, uber impressive is Mohammed Tasbi. He's been able to just slightly increase that lead to 1.5 seconds over Dylan Tan, who's sticking to his guns really well. I'm not quite sure what to make of Dylan because he's been involved in so many incidents, so much recklessness. I love it, but the real racers and the sim racers don't like the recklessness in him. Where do you stand on him, Amo?
I would say that he's got a lot to learn. He's like an unfinished article. Rough around the edges, a lot of grammatical errors, and needs a bit of fact-checking as well. But right now, he's proving himself to be quite mature coming to the end of the season. Yes, he did cause a few collisions along the way, and he had a bit of a slight error in judgment of going for qualifying in gold, where he actually got disqualified, unfortunately. But he's proving his worth here, and he is not doing any silly moves right now.
Yevon David in P3. Justin Hung has got himself up into P5. The man in the pink leading that line of Masvilton, Jaden Lowe, Jui He and Dan Martin. Martin is trying to get back at Juan. He didn't like being overtaken earlier on as they come through. What's it? Bim Bam they call it?
Biff Bap.
Biff Bap.
Or Fanyas, whichever works, because these corners are identified by both names.
Indeed, and then they come round the double right-hand side. I'm really impressed with Juan coming into silver for the first taste of what's going on, and he's coping pretty well.
Yeah, and the fact that he can actually mix it with the best of them. In fact, if he ran a full season, I think he'll be on for a top 10 finish, and it's still not over for him yet. 5th place is still possible for him because he can still see, in fact, he can see up to 3rd place Yevon David, so it's not over by a long shot. But unless Martin goes to the inside of his teammate, they touch. Both Audis touch, but luckily they both get away with it with just a slight penalty point to their name.
You knew exactly what was coming up there. Noah So, who's had a couple of podium finishes, predominantly in reverse grid races. He's leading the next charge ahead of Mark Voltaire, Elman and Joaquim Garrido and Paul Ofastino. So you've got 3 Filipinos chasing the Japanese in a race for P10. Yopal Wei-Seong is down in P14, sorry, with Afiq Hamed and Marv Dondakambe a little bit further down.
Way back in P14, but actually he was up to P13 at one point. He's going to get himself some points unless now he's going to get mugged by Faustino. Sorry, Afiq Hamed. And there we go. Afiq goes around the inside at Eau Rouge. That's a brave move. That's something that Mark Webber did on Fernando Alonso back in 2013, if I recall correctly. Sorry, 2011. And luckily Wei-Seong, gently enough, gives way, but unfortunately to his detriment, he's lost 2 positions.
That was an incredibly brave move. You're coming up that hill at quite some pace. In the meantime, a man who's not had to show any real bravery apart from that first lap where he stayed out of danger, Mohammed Tasbi. Level on points going into the weekend. He and Nabil, they shared the front row of the grid, but Nabil was eliminated from the race on the first lap, and that meant that just has to steer clear for 20 minutes and Tasbi could effectively tie up the title.
And he's tying up the title in style because in fact I think he holds the fastest lap currently. Does he? Yeah, he holds the fastest lap. He's leading every lap right now, and he started from pole position. It's a grand slam. He could get the full complement of 32 points, and Nabil with no Nabil to stop him.
At 2:10.1, Dylan Tan is the man who is manfully or boyfully trying to hold on into P2. I'm and Yevon David, Masvilton and Justin Hung. Again, let's go down to Nois. Oh, that was a good battle he was having with the Filipino triumvirate. And he's just pulling away from the Mark Voltaire Elman at the back of that train, just being dropped a little bit. He's lost 1-2 place in the last lap.
Yeah, didn't see how Mark fared from the start, right? Because we were focused up in front with the championship situation and all. But so far, he has been proven to be quite consistent here at the back. Well, or be at the back. Oh! I was just about to say, he kept it clean, but he just got whacked there from Afi. I mean, and Mercedes Smith, that's Noiso.
Noiso, having looked so calm and collected, slams into the wall, just going into the home straight, and Nois finds himself down now in P17 under pressure from Darren Even. He'll lose that place as Darren, well, no, just backs out of the corner. So Noiso, he's had podiums, he won't have a podium today.
And sorry, go ahead.
Troy Iman has moved up close onto Yevon David. In fact, moved up very close onto Dylan Tan. This is now the battle for P2.
Oh man, and these are this is the battle of the young karters. So who's going to be the best of the real world races? Okay, of course, Tasbe as well does real life karting, but these guys are part of a proper team. And let's see who's going to come out on top between these two drivers. I was about to say, to insult the injury, Noiso is now out of the points, and Wei Xiong's currently holding 15. So unfortunately for him, what was going to be a 10th place finish is going to come out with no point.
Dylan Tan, as the yellow of Tasby goes through, the blue of Dylan is under pressure from the grey of Troy Iman. Singapore, Malaysia, followed by Sri Lanka's Yevon David, the birthday boy. Won't have much to sing about if he holds on only to 4th place. But he is clear of Jin Mads Vilton, Justin Hung and Jaden Lowe in 5th. Again, let's just talk about Tasby because we're rather ignoring him, but this is almost like a 20-minute lap of honour.
Yep, it's coronation day for him, and it is something that he will love to savor right now. Fruit, it is what a way to win it as well, actually. To win it at one of the most famous circuits in world motorsport, and that's the circuit of Spa-Francorchamps. What a way to win it, and the fact that his hero Lewis Hamilton also has had quite a few years of success here. He'll have to emulate that, and he's going to do it right here, right now.
Let's just stick with him, actually. I suppose it could be a flying lap. 2:12. I tell you what, this isn't the last lap. There's 2 laps to go because he's crossed over the start-finish line with about 2:15 on the clock. So didn't quite get that timing right, but he comes down through Eau Rouge. He's holding a 2.5 second lead from Troy Iman, who's got ahead of Dylan Tan. That's an interesting scenario. As you say, the 2 karters. Let's again just stick with Tasby. Complete focus from him as he comes into Les Combes.
Also the fact that I was looking at his screen just now through the small insert there. He crossed the line at about 2:20 or 2:19.
Yeah.
So he's within about 9 seconds, so he can't back off now. He has to do 2 laps regardless, and he has, well, he'll be hoping his tires will last because it was blinking orange on his indicator.
Ooh, okay. So you never know. I've given up predicting. That's the only prediction I'm going to make. Troy Iman in P3 at the moment. Temporarily got ahead of Dylan, but Dylan, I think, just backed off nicely before the line. And Dylan, does he have DRS?
Yeah, should be, because he was within the second by the last time by. But I'm amazed that he actually still hasn't gotten by him, actually. Even with the DRS, it's either Dylan has been defending so well, defending Sri Murugan levels of defending, but I think he has been defending just decently, and the fact that he's getting good exits out of corners, that Troy Amy cannot use that DRS to full effect. Sorry, Sri. Had to mention that Silverstone thing again.
I was going to say, yeah, we're live on Twitch for eRacing GP round 6 of 6 of season 2. This is the battle between Singapore's Dylan Tan and Troy Iman, and Troy looks like he's wanting to make a move around the outside. It's difficult defending from Dylan. He doesn't want to get past. They come down past Blanchimont, heading towards the chicane. We've had one defensive move from Dylan Tan. Troy eventually gets through. That's a great move. Just in case this is the last lap, let's just see. No, there's one more lap to go with 6 seconds only remaining. Tasby has just got to hold on to this 2.7 second lead, and he will be the unofficial champion.
And Ali watching over his back right now, he will be spurring, as I said, he'll be spurring him on. But it has been a calm, mature drive from Tasby. He didn't even put a foot wrong all race, and that's the mark of a champion indeed.
There's looking back going up Eau Rouge. Dylan Tan is trying to make a move once again. This is a great little battle between these two. Really good, and Dylan, who had the DRS going into the final lap, and that's the advantage that he's got. And you suspect that barring a mistake from him, he's going to pick up another podium, which certainly won't be the first of his season for Dylan.
Nope, it'll be, I think, his second podium, if not mistaken.
Yeah, he was second at the Hungaroring. He got a P2 there, but and a 4th in Red Bull, and a 4th at Imola last week. So a decent end to the season from Dylan Tan.
Well, mind you, we still have the reverse race to come, so they might end this race on a high. It might not be on a high once race 2 comes, and also knowing the fact that Nabil is the one actually going to be starting on pole for race 2. So something to make up for it. It's a consolation, but it will be a good consolation nonetheless.
Little bit further down, Dan Martin has got himself back in front of Juan He. Juan at one stage just edged Dan Martin out of the way. This is the battle for P8, but Martin a little bit more experienced in the Red Bull machine. Just looks like he's holding on. But now we'll just stick with Mohamed Tasbi as he finishes the final lap of this first race. And it means that he will have won the championship after 11 of the 12 races in the season.
We're of course looking at it provisionally because right now, well, we can almost safely say he has won the championship right here, right now. But we'll have to see whether or not it will still be enough by the time he crosses the line. If he gets the full complement, that's it. It's enough.
Crosses the chicane, comes into the start-finish line. Little celebratory wiggle, a little smile as he crosses the line. Come on, you miserable bugger. No, he's not smiling at all. The victory belongs to Mohamed Tasbi, and unofficially he is champion. Dylan Tan, Troy Iman, Yevon David in 3 and 4. Jaden Lowe ahead of Justin Masvilton, Dan Martin, Juan He on debut, finishing in P9, Don DeCombe and Paul Ostina. And now the smile from Tasbi. Now I think he realises now he can afford to just let the concentration go for a moment.
And also the fact that, sorry to mention this, Des, but I think he might have called it 20 seconds early because he was still at Blanchimont when by the time he was calling. But there you go. There's the smile, and his brother is the first person to come and congratulate him. It's a great day for the Hamilton climb so far. Part 1's done, Part 2 is coming up in the gold class, but for now, in silver, it is job done. He is unofficially, provisionally the champion.
That's why you're the expert, Amo. Yeah, there's a delay on the replay, isn't there? So Tasbi gets the victory, and with Nabil way down, Tasbi gets the Grand Slam. Fastest in qualification, takes the full 25 points, takes the fastest lap. There's 32 points. See you later, Nabil. And that is the first of what they hope to be a family double.
And to use the fighting term here, it's a coup de grace from Tasbi.
eRacing GP Global Edition. We are on the DTM cars. It's the silver race at the beautiful Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. 18 degrees centigrade is the designated air temperature. Nice 31 degrees track temperature. Sunny and dry, perfect conditions. Let's just see if Mohamed Nabil is able to just rescue something from a wretched first race. There is the Spa circuit. The reverse grid will see Nabil almost certainly on pole, or certainly at the front of the grid.
I wouldn't bet against him to actually get a victory in this one. At least with a 17-point gains, if he gains 17 points in this race, it could look less painful for him in the championship stakes. It could be just 10 points by the end of this, but
tell you what, Nabil isn't even on the grid.
Oh.
Emiliano Cyrus and Darren Even are there. Nabil down in P22. What's happened there? So why would he not get at the start of the grid?
Oh, I think because we only reversed the top 20, so
we do.
Oh my word! Oh, that's Daniel Martin spinning. There you go. That's one driver out of the way for him at least. Sorry, it's Don DeCombe.
We do. We only reversed the top 20, so poor old Nabil. Oh, what more can go wrong for the fella today?
It's more than a double whammy. It's a double whammy, a wedgie, and a sucker punch all in one go.
Mohamed Tasbi is the man who's already won the title. He's in P18 at the moment. Just stay out of trouble, young fella. As you can see, he's staying away as they come down Eau Rouge. He's got Nabil alongside him in the live. There's Nabil in the white, Tasbi in the yellow. They will be 1 and 2 in the actual overall championship. Not that that will be much consolation for Mohamed Nabil.
Nope, not whatsoever. No points at this race is going to be a sucker punch to him for what could have been a fantastic season he's had. In fact, he's been leading the way throughout, and only to be overhauled by Tasbi in the final few races of the season. That's not a great way for him.
Tasbi moves into P18. Up at the front, Emiliano Cyrus under pressure from Noor Shazli Azan. Noor Shazli fancies getting close and maybe making a move there on Emiliano Cyrus. Again, 2 more Singaporeans. A lot of contact there. I think we're going to pick up some pretty major incident points if Noor Shazli Azan carries on like this.
At most 5, I think, because that was a rear end type. A side swipe could actually plus another 5. So yeah, they might have to watch it. They only have, I think, 50 incident points for this race. 50 or 40 because we had 50 for the TCR guys. They would not want to screw up a potential race win here due to battling too hard.
Emiliano Cyrus, Afik Hamid has come and joined the party there. Afik in the grey has moved himself up into P2. Nur Shazlizan says, no, I want that place back. Noiso is getting into the mix as well. The grey of Noiso, real contact between Shazli and Afik, and Shazlizan will take the lead. Oh, look at what's going on behind.
Mayhem at the bus stop, and it's not a literal bus stop where buses will actually take people. Is a traffic jam there, and unfortunately the collateral damages were all Audis.
Well, Mohammed Nabil avoided an awful lot of the problems, as did Mohammed Tasbi, who's got himself up into P8. Tasbi, and nobody near him, so tell you what, he could be on for a win double here.
What a way to close out the season, and what a way to beat the stuffing out of not only Nabil but the opposition. And they might be thinking, how are we gonna stop this guy? Well, unfortunately, even in the last race, we couldn't, and we will never know. Oh, somebody spins out in front on the Camel Straight.
Noiso once again. Noiso has had a nightmare situation. He spun out in the first race, and he's spun out here as well.
Oh my word! And we got other people who are involved as well. Not only Noiso, but Miss Vilton's out of the race. He got disqualified. So was Jaden Lowe. So third place in the championship will not be his by the end of this weekend.
Well, there is Noes. He has recovered, so and there's a lot of damage to that vehicle, but he span out in the first race. I'm wondering if it's a connectivity issue, but he's certainly on the wrong end of that. It allows Cyrus and Shazlizan to move forward. Nice little train there. Tell you what, it's a 7-train car, and Tasby has just kindly and quietly deposited himself right at the back of that train.
The Super 7, as Murray Walker once said during the finale of the 1992 BTCC Championship. And unfortunately, unlike that particular race, the championship here has been sewn up. So right now, Tasby can just take it easy and take out whoever he wants to. Well, not take out literally, of course. He just wants to overtake. And look at that, DRS is on. He has the run on Darren, Eva, and Rajan. Will he make it through, coming through Blanchimon? Nope, not just about yet. He holds position behind Darren.
But he certainly is the man who you want to keep an eye on. Darren will be more than aware of the yellow BMW right alongside him as they come round the chicane, and Tasby avoids any contact but gets himself into P6. Mark Voltaire, Elman, Dan Martin, Shazlizan, Afik Hamid, and leader Emiliano Cyrus are in front of him. Let's again just stick with Tasby because he's moved up 2 places in the last 3 corners. Lose it again to Mark Voltaire, Elman, but he's not really pushing that hard.
And to quote what we said just now with the Imagine lyrics by John Lennon, we're going to put a Yellow Submarine reference here. The Yellow Submarine is coming, and it has been on top for the whole season.
Cyrus stayed in front all the way through. Now Afik Hamid makes his move. Afik has gone past Cyrus, so Afik is the race leader for the very first time. Cyrus tried to hold off Nur Shazlizan and can't. So it's Malaysia, Singapore, Malaysia, Singapore, Singapore. Tasby's got himself up into P4. Look at that. Cyrus has dropped down. 1 mistake from Cyrus. This is a good standard driving, isn't it, Amo? Very few errors.
Wow. I'm almost like shaking my head, not in disbelief, but shaking my head in terms of, it's unbelievable. He could be consistent from the front and from the back. And it's just good driving. We can't wait to see him in goal whenever we have the next season coming up.
Somebody saying, I got DQ. That's Tainub Rises. Not quite sure who that is. Zephy Ray is along there. It's another chaotic argy-bargy. Quite right, young fella. Afik Hamid is trying to just get a bit of distance between him and the front 4, though. Dan Martin moves onto the outside, and Shazlizan, and then Tasby takes advantage and goes on the inside of Dan Martin. Tasby wants a perfect weekend as a big exclamation point to his season.
Oh yes, definitely. And also the fact that the new riser, that's Wei Xiong, and looking at the time machine, there he is, he's in 20th. He's out of this race, unfortunately.
Afik Hamid is still leading the way. Afik would love to end the season strongly, and that's exactly what he's doing. Shazlizan in P2 in the first of the BMs.
Whoa! Someone's off at Blanchimon, and it was a big one. Someone actually went off big time. I think he got tapped there. It looked like a Mercedes from what I saw from afar, but yeah, that's beside the point right now. Dusby is up to second. And someone else bins it at the bus stop. It's an Audi. Looks like it could be Paul Faustino. I'm not really sure, but cars are going on left, right, and center. Even when we're supposed to be settling into a rhythm right now.
In the meantime, Mohammed Tasbi has got himself into P2 and perfectly primed to take the lead. And we're not even halfway through this race. Afik is very aware that Tasbi has moved out to his left, and Tasbi glides past Afik Hamid, and Mohammed Tasbi, the champion, shows champion qualities to take the lead for the very first time.
And there you go. You can see that he's smiling at a small camera. Alif is, spurring him on, and he knows it. He's got this win in the bag right now.
Let's have a look at Mohammed Nabil meanwhile. He's down in P12. He's got Troy Ayman just ahead of him, and Arif Azmi as well. Nabil, so Nabil, who I thought would start at the front, actually didn't. Started in 22nd. He was too good in qualifying, and in many ways this has come back to haunt him. And here he's having a very, very difficult time at Spa. He won't enjoy thinking back to round 6 of season 2, will he?
He probably wants to just go back to bed and put the sheets over his head right now, because this is not a perfect weekend at all. It has gone completely pear-shaped, upside down. It's not even in a perfect circle. Whatever we want to call it, it has not gone well at all. But consolation is he could get just 1 point, but it's nothing compared to the bigger picture.
And he is a little bit further down. Dylan Tan, who had a very good P2 last time out, alongside Yevon David. They're the two boys in blue. Singapore and Sri Lanka, with Mark Voltaire Elman trying to get right on the tail of the boys in blue. This is a battle for P6. Mark Voltaire Elman just glides past Yevon David, the birthday boy, not enjoying that surprise. Ooh. Dylan Tan, the next to face. Elman can be erratic.
And you can see there, he opened the DRS a bit too late. Oh, he tries to go to the inside of Dylan Tan, but unfortunately the door was firmly shut. And now Yevon Davis got back at him. Oh! Elman spins! The same corner again has caught out quite a few people. Has caught out Elman. He's the latest victim in a long line of victims.
And Mark Voltaire Elman, can he get back onto the track? Yes, he can, but he was chasing for P5 and now he's down in P14. We've had 5 casualties already. In fact, it must be 7 casualties already. Noah So is the last one. Dylan Tan was also a casualty there. Almost inevitably, Dylan will get involved in some kind of a trouble. Meantime, Tasbi serenely gets himself away from all the mayhem.
Yeah, he's singing to the birds and bees right now. And the Ardennes Forest is welcoming another worthy champion. Look at that. From the back, in 20th, all the way to 1st. And he just made his way through the mayhem, and still he's not having so much damage on his car. It's almost as pristine as it is when he was on the line. So right now, Dasby, he's exerting his full dominance in this championship, and he has richly deserved his driver's championship title.
You can just see him bottom screen. It's all concentration. Meantime, Mohammed Nabil he's got past Yevon David, he's got past Troy Ayman, he's got himself up into P7, he's got Justin Hung and Emiliano Cyrus, one-time race leader, in his sights, and so a top 5 place, in fact even better, is certainly possible for Mohammed Nabil, because we've got nearly half the race still to go, and Nabil, well, again, we'll just want to forget about today, but make it as high a finish as possible in race 2.
Yeah, he wants to actually finish the season on a somewhat of a high. At least a top 5 will do the end of his championship quite nicely. And the fact that with half the field gone, he could not finish worse than 10th at least.
Ooh, bit of contact between Nabil and Justin Hung. And Nabil couldn't go round the right, so goes round the left, and he's just on the wrong side of the chicane. That means that Hung can defend, but Nabil will have the better exit coming into the home straight, and maybe he can attack Emiliano Cyrus as they come through. Oh. It's Hung who goes way, way wide.
He's out.
Yep, Hung's disappeared.
Wow, another casualty, and it's another driver who looked like he was on for some good points. So right now, it's literally half the field gone, at least 10 drivers. If we lose a few more, that's completely half the field now.
Nabil moves serenely past Cyrus. Nabil into P5 serenely, but there's a little wiggle. Got to hold on there. That wall is perilously close, but now he's got control. 250, 260, 260 kilometers an hour, even going up to 265. Accelerator still on, just under 270, and a late turning corner into Lake Home.
And that was very brave again. Another driver who managed to make the move in the inside of Eau Rouge and Radion stick, and even with the DRS open. So he's showing what he's worth here, but unfortunately he showed it 1.5 race too late.
In the meantime, as we look at and admire Nabil making his way up, Mohamed Tasbi is increasing this lead. He looks back, and eventually a couple of cars come into view, but they're in the far, far distance. So I think Tasbi may as well just close off his wing mirrors and focus on what's ahead of him, which is nothing but track.
Nothing but track and nothing but history. And the fact that part 1 of that history is already his. He's the first of the 2 Hamilton brothers to clinch the championship. Now he will have to wait for his elder brother Alif Hamilton to clinch the gold championship. But it's not over yet for him, for Alif at least. And for Tasbi, it's not over yet here. He still has the job of finishing this race to do, to really drive home the advantage of what has been a brilliant season for him.
7 minutes still to race. It really has been attritional. Is it the aggression of the drivers that's caused such a high incident rate? Because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 drivers have been kicked out of the game. What's going on, Ammo?
Oh yeah, I think it's because, again, it's the reverse grid race. Mayhem is almost a certainty. But also the fact that we had really cold temperatures here today, because it's evening right now. We had a track temperature of 18 degrees, I think it was 18 or 31. It was quite cold. So it might not be as grippy as some of the drivers want. So that's why the mistakes actually happened.
Yevon David darts down the inside. He'll just pickpocket Emiliano Cyrus. Troy Ayman is also in there as well, as is Paul Faustino. And Faustino is alongside Troy Ayman. That's a good little race. Cyrus and Yevon David are the 2 cars ahead of them. Faustino just backs off a little bit, but it's always thrilling going through Eau Rouge. It's thrilling just one car, but when there's 4 in a train, it is a beautiful sight to watch, Amo Hazi.
Oh yeah, definitely does. And the fact that the way that the cars go up in a snake, and if you have that camera, a small mini camera, a bullet camera, at the bottom of the chicane, at the bottom of the Eau Rouge, you can see the cars just fly by in almost subliminal fashion. It is exciting to watch, and it's why that corner is every single driver's best corner they want to tackle.
5:30 to go. The Ardennes countryside is there for all to enjoy. Mohamed Tasbi leads by an increased 4 seconds. Shazli Zan is looking to pick up his first podium of the season. I think it's his first podium.
Yes, it'll be his first podium. It'll be his best finish of the season, actually. And what a way to do it at the final round. That will boost his confidence for the next season if there was to be hell. We're gonna have to ask Alex for that. But yes, what a way to end the season for Shazli Zan, who has been a bit marked somewhat by bad luck. Every single race he gets taken out, or he was involved in some sort of accident through no fault of his own. But now he could actually just relish having a podium in his resume.
Yeah, he's had a 5th, a 6th and a 7th, and barring an incident, and he's a long way away from the race leader. But Afik Hamid is slowly trying to close that gap. It's only a 1.5 second difference between Afik, so Shazli Zan just needs to be careful. Dan Martin is only a further 1.5 seconds down on them. So maybe there is still something, because Mohamed Nabil's also coming forward. Nabil up to P5. What's he got? Probably 2 laps left here. Yes, 2 laps left.
Judging by, I'm looking at the replay right now from where Tasbi was crossing the line. Yeah, probably about 4 minutes 25, I think, when he crossed. He should have at least 3 laps on the bit.
Yeah, it could be 3, yeah, because he's so far ahead. It could be 3 for him. It's one of those where, because it's a timed race, you've got to judge it. Mind you, Tasbi has judged everything pretty darn well today. And just look at the lead he's got at the end of that long straight. Shazli Zan, Afik, Dan Martin and Mohamed Nabil right the way through to 5. Yevon David is trying to come back onto Troy Ayman for P6. Cyrus has dropped like a stone to P7. One-time race leader. Couple of mistakes, a little bit of concentration, and he's now under pressure from Paul Faustino on P8.
Yeah, and the race has gone pear-shaped for him, but at least it will still be points on the car. About 3 points, or 4 points actually, yeah, 4 points on the car for him. But now, if Faustino could get the better of him, this is the battle that will go all the way to the end, because they're not inside of other drivers. It's only them and the road right in front of them. As Faustino tries to go the move on the inside of Pujon, not quite. He was ducking on the inside, looking for the room, but Cyrus holds his line well.
Right at the very tail, just a mention for Noeso. He's way out on his own, as is Mark Voltaire-Ullman. Both had crashes. Rosan Royf, we've not really touched in on him, nor Marv Dondekembe. Just a little mention for them out of courtesy. And that's purely because Tasby is really leading the way. Let's go back to Cyrus and Faustino. Faustino, this time will make a move, Amo.
Well, I think he might want to try at the bus stop chicane, because at Blanchimont, nobody will try unless they have full faith in the other driver and their own car. Yep, Faustino thought better of it and backs out. But now he has a better run coming into the bus stop chicane. He might go on the inside. Even with DRS, this will be a natural maneuver. No, Cyrus holds on well, and he was the last of the late breakers. But unfortunately, he runs it wide coming out of the bus stop. Now Faustino gets the inside, and that's it. Move done. 8th place is Faustino's.
He was very patient, I tell you. In the meantime, Mohamed Nabil's got himself up into P5 temporarily, P4 now. He's got himself ahead of Dan Martin. Afik Hamad is in his sights. Nabil makes a move. Wow, overtaking there on Eau Rouge.
Whoa.
Yo, hold it on, young fella. My word, he has, and he's accelerated into P3. Astonishing.
Right on, cowboy. That was a Bronco of a maneuver, and the fact that he had the DRS on when he made that mistake. He ran a bit wide at the top of radio, but I think the move would come because he was already ahead. But now Dan Martin goes back on the inside. Could he make it? No. Dan Martin had to back out of it because Nabil had the line already. And now 3rd place is Nabil's. That's a good way for him to end this season.
And he's done it the hard way. He's had to come from P22. In the meantime, Tasby, who also had to come from way down, he's way clear. Shazlizan 5 seconds down and 4 seconds clear of Nabil. Let's just look back on Nabil and see the pressure that he's under from Dan Martin, Troy Ayman, Afik Hamid, Yevon David. I'm still trying to calculate if this is the last lap or Mohamed Tazi's got one more to go beyond this.
I think it might be just one to go, because he did cross the line about 2 minutes and 20 again, slightly too early. Unless he backed it off, because he could afford to lose at least a few seconds to just finish this race, because he doesn't want to go for another lap. His tires might not last the distance.
Nabil in 3. There's the race leader, Tasby. 17 seconds.
Oh, you know what? I think he might back off.
Yeah.
He might just back off. So
he may well. It'd be wise, wouldn't it? There is Tasby. 8, 7, 6, 5. He's timed that absolutely superbly. Really clever from Tasby. He takes back-to-back race victories. He also takes the fastest lap again. It is a perfect haul. Now Shazlizan gets P2, his first podium of the season. Mohamed Nabil gets the consolation of P3 ahead of Dan Martin and Troy Ayman. Afik Hamid, Yevon David and Cyrus finishing in 8th place, just ahead of Paul Faustino. But there is Mohamed Tasby, Alif Hamilton, his brother, in the background. That is some performance. The pressure was on for Tasby, and he's pulled out a perfect race weekend.
Wow, he knocked it out of the ballpark, and see ya. The ball's out in space right now. And what a way to end the season. A brilliant championship in the silver and the copper classes that I've been covering so far. Yeah, I just like to say, hashtag thank you frontliners for keeping us safe during this entire period we're in quarantine, and thank you for the racers for giving us such great races.
Absolutely endorsed. Mohamed Nabil, frustration, 3rd place for him. Great job from Amo in commentary. He'll be joining Alex just to summarise what goes on at the end of this race. We're just waiting for the final consolation. Mohamed Nabil disconsolately moves around. I tell you what, that first lap incident on race number 1 completely handed the title to Mohamed Tasby. He still had work to do, but he did it really well. Alex Young is back with us
Yep.
in the commentary box. And Alex, Tasby, a worthy champion, or will Nabil feel that he was rather robbed in race 1?
Well, both really. I mean, Tasby got the points. He is the champion, and very much so a worthy champion. Look at that. He's so happy. That's so great to see. And he's such a great mentor. His own brother, Alif Hamilton, there, working together very well. Just looking at the results here, Tasby, Shazlezan, also a really good job to finish in P2.
Yeah, that's the first podium for Shazlezan. Nabil consolation. Dan Martin frustrated to finish outside the podium places once again, but good position for him. And right the way down, who else finished it? Tell you what, it was a really attritional race, and Spa proving to be very difficult for the silver class.
Yeah, and I have to say though, Des, just as we're talking about this, I do feel a little bit robbed, I have to say. I'm just a bit selfish here, because Tasby and Nabil have been really going at it, hammer and tongs, this silver edition, this silver class. And I really was expecting a fantastic race today. I suppose we were just deprived of it. I think Nabil obviously got DNF'd on that first lap. So it really shame, because I think they would have been right together all the way to the end. I'm sure he's going to be disconsolate. I know he's been just practicing on a lot of other games this weekend for another race. He's got a 24-hour race right after this. But I have to also say, I got to tip my hat to Tasby. Tasby looked very quick today. I think Nabil, even if he hadn't had that problem on the first lap, which as far as we know was not his fault, I think he would have found it really hard to beat Tasby.